I think most with personal training stuff, sometimes about like relationship building and about who you are, and it's about there's so many PTs. Why am I going to work with Dave over Sally? They both can do the same thing. They both can get you to your goal, but why would I want to work with someone over somebody else? It could be the relationship, the rapport you build. I feel clients are coming. I'm like, you don't have, there's no any obligation to sign up. Let's just see if we work well together. Let's see if we build a rapport. We have a relationship. If it's just really awkward when they're in silence and both people are looking at each other, you're like, yes, this probably won't work.
You can always tell when the connection and the vibe isn't quite there. You're doing that first session with that person, and they're either really sort of like buying into everything that you're doing with them, and you're getting into some deeper conversations, or it's like you're potentially getting a lot of resistance, or they're not opening up too much, and that whole thing of like, there is no such thing as like the best personal trainer, or this is the best person to work with. That personal relationship part of the
Huge, yeah.
it's like it's about 80% of it, right?
Says it in the name, personal
Personal
training. Yeah.
trainer, and like 20% of it is the actual training part, and that
Yeah.
part is super important. Don't get me wrong, like I've for me it's kind of been like 100%, and I'm probably the same for you, right? And every other personal trainer who's like just so focused on the training part that you almost overlook how important it is that this person actually likes you. Because if they don't like you, and they don't like necessarily feel warm towards you, they tend not to trust you. And then it's very frustrating when they go online and they come across like influencers and this and that, and they like those people and they like their content, and then they really buy into everything that they're saying, and then they come into the session and they're like, oh, what about this and what about that, and you kind of know where it's coming from, and it's like, oh, this is annoying. But I learned, it took me a long time to really appreciate building connections with people. And again, I'd probably mentioned this before in previous episodes, but I have been notoriously bad at not letting people in. Like my walls are up. Like, what are you up to this weekend? Nothing. Like that's not a relevant conversation. All right, next set. Instead of allowing a little bit of space for that human interaction.
I think every PT's done that. When I first started, I remember one conversation with a client. She was like, "You're very serious. Like you don't like very straight face. You don't smile. Like don't joke." And I'm just very set. Okay, yeah, tempo. Go slower. Go slower. And she'd ask me something. I'm like, 60 seconds up. Okay, back it again.
Yeah.
Now I can actually have a conversation. Oh, it's 70 seconds have gone. Nothing's going to happen. You're not going to lose your efficiency in the workout. You're not going to not build any muscle or get to your goal. But building relationships is important, especially if you're trying to, again, most clients will probably stay with you like long term. You may get some that dip in and out because they have a specific goal, like
Yeah.
a wedding, a holiday, whatever it may be. But for the most part, it's all about relationships, because sometimes clients will come to me and they'll be very nervous and very like, or they look around like, oh, I don't know what to do in the gym, and there's so many people around and they just want to sit in one corner and just do that. And then you assume, and I automatically assume, they're just nervous, they're shy. I'm not going to go and berate them and scream at them. You get some people, PTs who'll do that. I'm just like, okay, cool. Let's just stick to one corner. Let's just slowly build your
Yeah.
confidence up. Let's slowly get you back into the gym. I've had one client who signed up with me last year. She was very nervous. She was just like, just didn't like the gym, tried things in the past, didn't work. And she was just like in the corner in the gym and going like, you could see it in her eyes going, I got to do a TRX. So like just a TRX row. And she just was doing it and just like was shaking. I was like, oh, what's going to happen? I might fall. And then like, fast forward 6 months, she's doing stuff in the gym. She's comfortable. She goes in and warms up by herself. She does stuff by herself at home. At first, she was just like looking around, and her eyes are like a bit shaky and nervous, and you can like tell in body language. And then she was like really good because she started building more trust and more as the rapport increased, and now our relationships are all better. We can talk about stuff. What are you doing this weekend? What are you doing? Good, all that kind of stuff. Like, and we talk about TV shows and stuff. But at first, it was more so me getting her comfortable to be in a situation or a place where she's very uncomfortable. She just didn't know where to be, and like it would take me a while to slowly get her around the gym. So we'd stick to everything in the program would be catered towards that one corner. Wherever's in that
Yeah.
one corner, bring something to that corner. And now, oh, we're going towards different machines and using barbells and doing different things and slowly integrating different movements. And before we do something, we did it, and she was like, I don't like that. It doesn't make me feel good. Then I'll take that out, bring something else in. But that's the thing with personal training. It's personal to the person. Like I can create the best program in the world, whatever the best program means. But the best program, if it doesn't work for that person and they're not comfortable and they're not relaxed in terms of they can't actually get themselves mentally into it, means nothing. It's just a piece of paper with just a couple of exercises on.
That is exactly right. The the best trainers that I saw in terms of the and I feel bad saying this because I would assess them from their training knowledge, their exercise selection, the decisions that they were making on in the actual session itself. And so I'm giving them a technical assessment. And there's not many trainers that I observe in commercial gyms anyway that are very good at that. And the most I sort of just now look for, like even doing PT interviews and stuff like that, where people come in and I've got to kind of assess them. It's like I'm not really expecting you to be very good at that side of things. I just need it to be reasonably neutral, where I can see no one's going to get hurt, and that can maybe get built on a little bit later. But it's how much is somebody actually going to like this person and like spending 45 minutes or an hour with this person. And now that's the first thing I'm looking at when I'm assessing a PT for a personal training job. I've watched so many trainers get people signed up, turning up to sessions, and have quite a long time working with them, purely because those individuals just liked turning up and spending an hour with that trainer. And they are exercising and they are doing exercises, so they are benefiting. Whether there's like a clear defined goal and they're actually reaching that goal, I can't speak on that too much. But what I can say is, even in my own experience, when I have had somebody come to me with a very clear defined goal, and let's say they had like a fairly unrealistic expectation, I didn't necessarily challenge them on it. I used to. I don't now, because I know that as long as we get started, you'll keep going. And that's all I need you to do. So if your goal was to build 5 kilos of muscle in 6 months, chances of that happening are extremely low. I'm not going to massively challenge you on that. All I'm hearing is that you want to build muscle.
Yep.
Got it. Now my next job is to get you started and get you consistent. And if in 6 months' time you haven't built 5 kilos of muscle, guess what? Nobody is ever upset about that, as long as they feel like they've gained more muscle.
Take the t-shirt off, look at themselves in the mirror,
And they'll-
oh, I look great.
I look better for
Not gonna
sure.
think back, say, oh, but I wanted 5 kilos of muscle. Oh, this is not working. They look great. That's all they think about. That's all they care about.
They're getting stronger in the gym, and most importantly, they're actually enjoying the process that they're going through with you. They feel supported, they feel reassured, they feel looked after, they feel like they've now got a valuable relationship in their life. These things start to matter a lot more than the actual metric of how much actual muscle was accrued. Me being the way I was, and to some extent still am, I'm going to be like paying real close attention to how much do we actually gain, what percentages of this lift increased, to what have we increased by 0.5 centimeter on this part of your body or whatever. But I just don't vocalize it anymore, because that's not what I'm trying to draw attention to.
Yeah, I think most people, they come in, they're like, I want to, they have their clear defined goals, like I'm gonna do da-da-da-da-da. I don't think they realize sometimes what those goals entail, or they're slightly over ambitious in terms of some people come to, oh, lose 10 kilos in like 2 months. Cool, okay. I don't, like, again, like yourself, I don't say anything. I'm like, okay, cool, just nod my head. All right, cool. Okay, let's just get started. Let's just set small targets. Okay, you know what? Let's in the first, I don't know, 2 months or month lose X amount. All right, cool. Let's just set small, medium, long-term targets so we can get towards where you want to get to. Rather than me berate someone and say, oh, that's stupid, or where have you seen that? What are you talking about? Most likely they've seen it on social media. Or someone's talking about it, or oh, I did this and I want to try this diet, I take this supplement, and I was like, don't say anything. I'm sorry, just nod my head. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. I'm like, before I used to like get into a long ass conversation, try and use scientific papers and try and be really clever and smart about it. I'm like, there's no point, because it's going to go in one ear, out the other. As we work together, then I can slowly drip feed them information and kind of give them certain things they need at a certain time. And then it will slowly, they'll start changing, like, oh, I didn't realize that. Oh, okay, that's more realistic. And oh, I wonder why I'm not always tired when I try and lose a bit of weight, and I'm not starving and I don't feel irritable. Oh, I didn't think about this before. And it's just slowly giving them the information they need, rather if I, which I've done before in the past, give them so much information, they just look at me like, wow, what was that? I don't know. And you can see it in their face. And I would, again, oblivious, young PT, and I want to do all of this. I've gone all these courses and I know all this information. Now it's like, give them what they need at the right time. Otherwise, they're just going to look at me like, what did he just say? I'm a bit nervous now. No, and they're like just shaking and like a little, you can tell someone looks a bit on edge. Now it's like, let's just take it one day at a time. Let's build you a structure, build your routine, get you moving, get you comfortable. Just for most people,